Hi everyone, it's Gail here. I'm going to show you how you can create your own subscribe button for YouTube for free in Google Drawings. So I'm already in Google Drawings. If you don't know how to get here, watch my first video called Lesson 1. It will show you how to set up a folder in Google Drive and also how to save and move your drawings from Google Drawings into your Drive so that you have access to them so much more easily than if you just if you didn't save them to any place at all. So I'm already in here and I want to go up here where it says Untitled Drawing on the upper left-hand side. I have my caps on. I'm going to type in YouTube subscribe, and then I'm going to type in button. And then I'm going to file and I'm going to move it to my Google Drive. So I'm going down to where and select move. I'm going to select my folder right here. It says YouTube and I'm going to move it. And up here, it lets me know where it's been moved. And then I'm going to dismiss this. So as you can see, I have rulers up at the top and the side. If you would like to use rulers too, go to View, and you just want to click on Show Ruler, and a check mark will show up here, and that's how you will get your rulers. So while I have my canvas large, the canvas is this checkerboard pattern right here. I want to add word art before I shrink it to the actual size of my button. So I'm going to Insert, and I'm going down to choose word art. And I'm going to type in subscribe. And then I'm just going to click on the canvas and it shows up here. Now at this point, I can change the lettering and the thickness. I find that it's better to keep it bold so it shows up a little bit better. And I also want to take the line off around it, and we'll change the color of it later on. But I'm just going to go to this border color right here, which has a pencil at the top. I'm going to choose transparent, and I'm going to keep this like this for right now. And I'm going to hold down my shift button and grab one corner from the side and just make this smaller. And I accidentally clicked that or turned that upside down, so I just flipped it back upwards. So I'm going to make this super small over here and fit that into the 1-inch area, so that way I have it there when I shrink my canvas. So now I'm going to the lower right-hand corner. I'm going to click on the canvas. I'm looking for these little lines, diagonal lines right here. I'm going to grab this and bring it in, and I want to bring it all the way in to the smallest canvas I can possibly get, which will be about 1 inch. Yay! And you can see it like that, and that worked quite well. And also we have the rulers out to the side that show us that it's about 1 inch, maybe a little bit over 1 inch big. So this is the size that I want to create for my button. So I'm going to keep the subscribe here. I'm going to move it up to the top a little bit so I can see it when I add more things, and then I'll show you how to bring it forward and how to add it to your button. So now we're going to create the shape of our button. We're going up here to the shapes tools. That's a circle and square right here. I'm going to hover over shapes. I'm going to choose the second one that has rounded corners, and I'm going to hold down the shift button because I want to make this square. If you don't want to make it square, you don't have to do this part. And I'm going to pull out the shape right here, and I want it to fill up most of the space, but I do want to leave a little space around because the canvas itself is a tiny bit larger than what will fit as a button into YouTube. So I want to be aware of that. I'm going to move this over a little bit, and I think that's pretty good right there. And if you look at those red crosshairs right there, it lets you know it's centered. So you always want to look for that to make sure everything's lined up. So that looks good. Now I'm going to change the color. So while this is selected in blue, I will see a fill color up here. If you don't see this, this might be turned downward. This is a toggle. So if it's turned downward, you won't, I guess you will see some of those things, but I'm going to turn it upward. And then I'm going to come over to the fill color right here, and I'm going to change the color to red for my button. So there we have that. Now I'm going to deselect it by just clicking somewhere outside the shape. And now I'm going to make the little YouTube logo by coming up to the shape tool again. I'm going to go back to that rounded corner, and this time I'm not holding down the shift key. I'm just going to pull out a shape that's about the shape that I like right there, and I think that works pretty well. I'll make it a little bit wider so it looks more like the YouTube logo. And I'm going to deselect, I'm going to change the border color. So I'm going to the border color and I'm going to choose transparent. Then I'm going to the paint bucket and I'm going to make it white. So, and then I just want to make sure this is centered, and it is. So that's great. Now we're going to add a triangle. And so we're going back to the shape button, and I'm going to choose the isosceles triangle right here. And I'm going to hold down the shift button. I'm going to pull out a triangle like so. And this one I'm going to change to red. So I'm going to the fill color, selecting red. And I'm also going to get rid of that border color by choosing transparent. And now we're going to flip it a quarter turn. So to flip it, the easiest way is to go to Arrange, click on this, and then go down to where it says Rotate, and then we're going to rotate it clockwise 90%. And I got that look, and now I'm going to center it. So I just want to make sure it's on that red line right there. So that looks good. Awesome. So now I'm going to click off of it, and then I'm going to click on the lettering that I see behind there. So I have that selected, and now I'm going to bring it to the front. So I'm going to arrange again, just like I did to rotate the triangle. This time I'm going to order, and think of order as like you have all these different types of papers on top of one another. And right now, subscribe is in the back, and I want to bring it to the front. If I bring it forward, it's bringing it in between other sheets of paper. So right now, it's like I have 4 papers: subscribe, the red button, the white portion, and then the red triangle. All of those are like 4 different sheets on top of one another. So I'm going to bring my type to the front, like so. And now I'm going to bring it down to the bottom. And I'm going to just pull on one corner right here and make it about the size that I like. I think I'll bring it out just a tad bit more. And then you definitely want to make sure that this is pretty big right here. And also, again, make sure it's on bold so it shows up well. So I'm just gonna make sure this is centered one more time. Okay, now I can choose the color I want subscribe to be. And I'm going to choose white. White and red show up really well. So I'm going to the fill color. I'm going to change that to white. And now I have my subscribe button. So, you know, play around with this. You can change it, come up with your own if you'd like. But now we're going to save this and export it as a ping. So that part's really important. If I export it as a JPEG, this transparent background will turn to white, and we don't want that. So I'm going to File, and I'm going to look for where it says Download right here, and I'm going to choose Ping right here. So I'm clicking on Ping, and it's showing up here at the lower left-hand corner. I'm going to click this Open. And now at this point, I probably want to save this to my desktop. So I'm going to File, and I'm going down to Move To right here. I'm clicking on this, and I'm going to change this to my desktop. And if I showed you my desktop, I have too many things on it right now, but if I showed it to you, it would be in the upper right-hand corner. And I'm going to select Move. And now we have the button finished. And then all you have to do is download it in YouTube. I will create another video to show how to do that. So again, if you want to create your own YouTube button for free, this is it. I hope you enjoy it, and it's the easiest way I found that works for me. So I hope it works well for you too. Until next time, see you later. Bye.